Good evening. I would like to welcome everyone to the Town of Lexington Council meeting. This meeting is being held at Town Hall Monday evening, August 5th, 2024. This meeting is being broadcast live on the town's YouTube channel. I am Hazel Livingston, the mayor of the Town of Lexington, and I would like to introduce to you my fellow council members. To my left is Mayor Pro Tem Ron Williams.
Good evening.
To his left is Council Member Todd Lyle.
Good evening.
To his left is Council Member Jenny Michaels.
Good evening.
To my right is Council Member Todd Carnes.
Good evening.
To his right is Council Member Gavin Smith.
Good evening.
And to his right is Council Member Will Allen.
Good evening.
And tonight we'll have our invocation by Brandon Clements and let's see, Midtown Church, is that correct? Midtown Fellowship Church. Thank you, Brandon, for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me. Let us pray. Father, thank you for another day of life here in this beautiful state we call home. Thank you for the many blessings and privileges that come with living here, including governmental authorities that promote human flourishing and seek to bring order out of chaos and restrain the evil and decay so prevalent on this earth. So thank you for giving our town leaders with those desires, and I pray for you to give them wisdom and courage as they seek to lead in the roles assigned to them. I also ask for wisdom for the members of our community, that we would all seek to see your will be done in Lexington as it is in heaven in any ways that are within our reach. Please bless this time tonight, and please keep those who are in danger from Hurricane Debbie safe. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Thank you. And at this time, I'll ask U.S. Army veteran Corporal Gene Bryant to come up and lead us in the pledge.
Thank you, ma'am. It is an honor for me to be here. If you follow along with me as I recite the pledge, present arms. I pledge America. Sorry, I'm nervous. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order, arms. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. This time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. And council met in executive session, and I have lost my executive session report. So y'all bear with me just a minute, but I think I can do it. Prior to this meeting, we will discuss the following matters. Routine personnel matter, legal discussion regarding national PFAS lawsuit, legal regarding annexation-related issues, utility regulatory compliance issues, and advice regarding agenda items. No vote was taken in executive session. Do I hear a motion to ratify this report?
So moved.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams makes the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Councilmember Carnes seconds it. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand. And it is unanimous. Are there any deletions from tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on into a copy of minutes and transcripts to approve them. Joint Town and County Council meeting transcript from 7/12/23. Regular council meeting from 6/3/2024. Council work session from 6/17/2024. And joint council and work session meeting 7/1/2024. Are there any omissions, additions, or corrections to any of these agendas? Hearing none, I will take a motion to approve all these amendments.
So moved.
Councilmember Smith makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Michael seconds it. Any corrections, anything y'all saw? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand. And I think it was unanimous. I couldn't see Will. At this time, I'll give a vision plan update. The Old Mill Pond Trail is full of water again, maybe even too much, and a little bit. Hopefully not. Right now, landscape is taking place throughout the trail as well as a final punch list items. Once they are completed, we will announce an opening date, and The trail is just one of our vision plan projects. For more information on all the projects we're working on, visit lexsc.gov. Mayor Pro Tem Ron Williams will have the traffic update.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, everybody, Lexington schools will begin this week. Therefore, traffic flow will increase in the town. Please be sure to use caution and patience in and around the school zones. I know the police department always has extra officers out. I know in years past, folks have a hard time adjusting to the new school zone speed limits that come back into effect. So please slow down and pay attention for the children. The next committee meeting for traffic committee is scheduled for September the 4th at 8 a.m. at Town Hall on the 3rd floor conference room. We encourage you, as always, to follow the Town of Lexington social media outlets for traffic alerts and updates. Please call 803-358-7273 to report any traffic signal issues, unsafe roadway conditions, or a pothole that needs immediate repair. That's it.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I also saw recently that on one of the news channels I was looking at, that they have started encouraging people to evacuate from the low country. So we may even have more traffic for hotels and stuff coming up this way because of flooding. So that may be another issue for traffic for us the next couple of days with all the rain. I don't know, Chief. He says, okay, whatever. Tonight we have one proclamation recognizing Miss Mary L. Marchant, Miss South Carolina Teen 2024, if you'll come forward. This is a proclamation of the Mayor and Council for the Town of Lexington recognizing Mary L. Marchant as Miss South Carolina's Teen 2024. Whereas Mary L. Marchant has represented Lexington as Miss River Bluff's teen in the Miss South Carolina Teen 2024 competition. And whereas Miss Marchant is a recent graduate of River Bluff High School, and whereas she performed a musical theater dance to I Hope I Get It from a course line to life and was preliminary winner in the Teen Evening Gown and Teen Talent Award categories. And whereas the competition culminated in her being crowned Miss South Carolina's Teen 2024. And whereas in addition to the title, she was awarded a $12,500 savings bond and will go on to represent the state of South Carolina and compete for the title of Miss America's Outstanding Teen. Whereas the Mayor and Council for the Town of Lexington are always proud of the academic and extracurricular activities of the local young people in the Town of Lexington, now therefore be claimed by the Mayor and Council for the Town of Lexington that Mary L. Marchant is hereby recognized and congratulated for being named Miss South Carolina's Teen 2024, and best wishes as you travel with her and she competes for the national title of Miss America's Outstanding Teen. She also will be leaving us and going to
Oklahoma City University.
To college, and she also has a very good platform that she's on about putting your cell phone down and picking your head up and having a conversation with people. We had a little interview today. She did a great job. And our own Gavin Smith is her PR person, has been working closely with her, so he's been working close with her, and we wish you lots of luck in the next pageant, and hopefully we'll recognize you again. Gavin, would you like to join me down with her? Your platform and your encouragement to the young people of the town of Lexington.
Yes, so my platform is Hang Up and Hang Out, and it's basically advocating for kids to get off of their cell phones and off of technology to really focus on what's important in life, and that's face-to-face conversations and being present. And it kind of started during COVID because I was a teenager. I still am a teenager. I know what it's like to be addicted to your phone and being captivated by what you see on social media and technology. And I was doing that during COVID. I had nothing else better to do. I was isolated. But then also with River Bluff, I was part of the Unified Track and Field program where I was helping these wonderful Special Olympic competitors to try to get off of their cell phones. And I was paired with one particular student. His name was Brody. And that was the first thing I noticed about him. He did not want to participate at all in what we were doing and was just completely glued to his phone. But I told him that I wouldn't be on mine if he wasn't on his. And the entire time was just spent, like, we walked and we run, like, everything was so amazing about it. And to change somebody's life who has autism just meant so much to me. So this is something that I'm really passionate about, and I can't wait to see what I do next. So thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll move into new business. Our first item of new business is from Councilmember Todd Carnes' amendment to Lexington County Animal Control Ordinance.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Lexington County amended its animal control ordinance in May, and the town needs to adopt the changes so that they may be enforced within the town limits. The main changes include the following. Lexington County Animal Services will no longer allow the sale or rehoming with or without a fee of dogs or puppies unless recognized with a fancier breeder registration. Did I say that right? Not sure what that is. Lexington County's Animal Services requires that a microchip registered with the owner's name, phone number, and address is implanted in any dog. Lexington County Animal Services no longer allows the sales or rehoming of pets at any flea market unless meeting the standards of a fancier breeder. The request from the county is attached along with the proposed ordinance for the town to adopt. Mayor, I make a motion for first reading approval.
Councilmember Carnes makes a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams, second. Is there any discussion?
Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
So I do have heartburn about this microchip addendum. And I know, unfortunately, we can't take that out, is what I understand. We have to accept everything that they're pushing. And like with any vote, I have to vote with my conscience. So if there's a requirement to microchip our pets, I will not be able to vote for this. I'm sorry.
Councilmember Allen, I have to say I agree with you, but unfortunately, I don't see where the town can afford to put their own animal services in place. So as much as I don't want to vote for it, I feel like I don't have to, because we do have to adopt what they put in place, or they won't do our animal services. So, yes.
Madam Mayor, I just want to say that I second the sentiment of Councilmember Allen. I feel like this is absolutely gross government overreach, and unfortunately, I agree. Well, I don't want to say unfortunately, but I agree with you as well that, you know, if we do not adopt this, which is in the county's new animal control ordinance, then we, by way of not accepting that, would not accept their entire policy, which would mean we would have to stand up an entire animal control division, which I think would be very fiscally irresponsible for us to do in the town. So unfortunately, I think we have no choice. But I just would like to be on the record that I do not think that it, I think the county's a little out of line on this one.
I do too. Anybody else?
Yes, ma'am. Rachel, is it possible for us to send the county a letter to tell them we'll vote to agree to this because we pretty much have to, but that we would like them to reconsider and maybe withdraw this requirement?
Certainly.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
has anybody on this row had a conversation with the county, or anybody in the audience had a conversation with the county to ask them why they came to that conclusion? Do we know why they made that decision?
On the staff side, we have not. We received notification via
haven't
mail from them
Okay.
of the update to their ordinance.
I'm going to make the assumption that they're using our tax dollars wisely and that they have a reason and they have gone through that process. While I may not be a huge fan of microchipping animals, I think we're spending far too long discussing this. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
and or maybe Madam Administrator, what is the timeline? What is our timeline for approval of their amended policies? I don't see anything in the letter. Is there any kind of timeline? That
I did see in the newspaper where they are going to, it's a slow process of causing people to have to get the dog, they're going to give some grace time, having the dog chipped and stuff.
But otherwise, there is not a time frame by which we need to respond because, as Brad indicated, county council adopted the update and then prepared the mailing for us, and it was issued to us.
So, I mean, is there any reason we can't table this item for 1 month and ask for clarifying information? Seems like a bunch of people have some heartburn over this particular ordinance.
We certainly can.
On the face of it, I would have that same heartburn. So there's no overriding timeline issue. I don't see why we couldn't table the item for a month and solicit that additional information from the county, the justifying information. Because we've never run an animal control service, and I hope we never run an animal control service. I'm glad they run the animal control service, but since we have to codify something and put it in our laws, I think it's reasonable to ask for that information and pay maybe for someone from the county to provide us that information.
We certainly can do that.
So could you have it maybe for our work session so we can at least have time to review it before we put it back on the
On in
September?
Yes.
Madam Mayor, Rachel, could you also ask for some clarifying information on how much this costs? I mean, I know some people may find this a ridiculous point, but what if someone can't afford to microchip their dog?
No, I think the facility is doing that. My suspicion is animal control has lost or abandoned pets, right?
Yes.
I
So they
think,
would be chipping
Rachel,
these lost or abandoned pets to perhaps help them be found by their owners if they're repeat offenders.
yeah, I have one of those.
I'm doing lots of speculation, so I don't know. We can talk about it next month.
And I think that you can find out too, I think they're doing it for a reduced cost at the animal shelter. So
Okay.
maybe you can find that out too, because I thought I saw that too in the article that my husband read to me.
I think there's also a mechanism for tracking vaccinations that the pet has had as well, but this is all information we can gather.
So Todd, you make the motion to table it?
Yeah, I can. I rescind my motion for first reading approval, and I make a motion to table this item for until the next council meeting.
And you,
I will second that motion.
okay, so, and all those in favor to table it and have some more information, raise your right hand. And that is unanimous. Our second item of new business is from Council Member Will Allen, reappointments to boards and commissions.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The terms for the following boards and commissions members are up for renewal as presented at the July work session. Reappointments require approval by council. Below is a list of the board members up for reappointment. The Planning Commission, we have Sammy Hendricks, Roscoe Kaufman, and Brian Amick. At the Board of Zoning Appeals, we have my boy Troy Fite, Justin Brown. At Traffic Committee, we have Lisa Gibson and Julie Bartels. I move for approval of reappointments.
Councilmember Allen makes the motion. Do I hear a second? Second. Councilmember Michael seconds it. Is there any discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
in the meeting minutes that we just approved, one of the last points that I raised at the last meeting was to reevaluate our attendance policy. And I think that that's really important for us to reevaluate before we reapprove additional terms or extending terms for current members, just so that we can shore that up, because we have all discussed concerns over attendance, not related to any particular person, but just in general, the attendance policies for our committees. I would like to see us hold off on extending these policies until we can actually get that done. I thought that's what we were doing before we reappointed these individuals.
Okay, I hear you. I think there are two separate items, and we're going to have to, when we change the policy for attendance, we're going to have to give that to everybody anyway, correct? And educate them on what the requirements are for serving.
Yes, ma'am.
So when we update it, you're gonna have to give it for whoever's serving. So I think they're two different items, myself personally. So I don't have a problem with, and I know that the staff is planning on bringing it to the work session for us to review in August, and then we'll be putting it on the September. So I don't have a problem with moving forward with this part because everybody's gonna have that.
And you feel confident that we're going to have it on the next work session agenda? Because I was under the impression that we were going to put these two items together. So I just want to make sure on the next agenda we can have that ready.
Yes, it will be.
Okay, thank you, Rachel.
Yes, she assured me that it would be there. So I have a motion and I had a second. Jenny? Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor of appointing the ones that have been put up, raise your right hand. And it is unanimous. Item number 3 is a resolution authorizing refunding general obligation bond anticipation notes. Councilmember Todd Lau.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The town's general obligation bands, BANS, which stands for the Bond Anticipation Notes, of 2023 total $7.975 million. Those are set to mature at the end of this month. My understanding is that the decision-making there was in the best interest of the town and taxpayer money to try to re-up or refinance those bands at a more favorable rate in the near term. So this authorization provides for those terms of issuance of the refunding the bands of 2024. These bands funded in part the Gibson Pond Dam, Ice House Pavilion, and your favorite, Madam Mayor, Virginia Hilton Park. And so I would make a motion for council approval to adopt the resolution authorizing the refunding of the general obligation bands of 2024.
Councilmember Lyles makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams seconds it. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor raise your right hand. And it is unanimous. Our last item of new business is from Councilmember Gavin Smith, Safe Streets and Roads for All Federal Grant.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In July of 2023, the town of Lexington applied for a $160,000 grant through the Federal Highway Administration to establish a plan for safe streets and roads for all in the town of Lexington. The town is required to provide a 20% match for a total project cost of $200,000. The $160,000 grant has been awarded and requires the town enter into an agreement with the Federal Highway Administration. The agreement is attached awaiting the town administrator's signature for execution. All that said, I make a motion to grant the town administrator the approval to enter into this agreement with the Federal Highway Administration to obtain the awarded grant and authorize the use of streets and infrastructure funds for the match.
Councilmember Smith makes the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Councilmember Carnes seconds it. Is there any discussion? I'm excited. Thank you, staff, for this grant. We need more of these.
Agreed.
Good
Definitely.
job. Any other discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. And it is unanimous. Any comments or questions from the news media? I don't see any news media, I don't think. Are there any questions or comments from the public regarding tonight's agenda? Are there any questions or comments from the staff?
Yes, Mayor, just one comment. We had previously planned our National Night Out event for tomorrow evening, hosted by our police department and a number of community partners. With the impending storm and rain event coming, that's been rescheduled for next Tuesday, August 13th. Same place, same time, all the same great partners, just different date.
Okay. the day one prayer that they have every year for children to start back to school, pay attention to social media, it may be rescheduled too. Or if school continues on, it will be moved to a different location. So keep an eye on social media for that. I also want to recognize our new employees hired by the town of Lexington in the month of July. In court administration, Alexis Valencia. There you go. In administration for Ice House events, Amanda Detens. In the Parks Department, Noah Harmon. In the Police Department, Anna Cabral and Robert Clark. In the Utilities, Gilberto Purdues? Is that right? I'm looking for David. There he is. Close enough? Okay. And Dwayne Owensby. Welcome to the town of Lexington. We're happy to have y'all and happy for y'all to be here. Does any of the council have anything else?
Can I make one clarifying remark? I just wanted to clarify on the record while the cameras are still on that I volunteer for the Miss South Carolina organization as Marielle's Public Relations and Communications Director. It is not through my company. I am not paid for it. I didn't want anyone to take that insinuation there. No, it's okay. I know you didn't intend that, but I just didn't want anyone to draw that conclusion. And I'd just like to say, Marielle, good luck as you head off to college. I was so excited the night that you won, and I'm so excited to see what you do when you go to Miss America's Outstanding Teen, and we think January-ish. So we'll be praying for you, we'll be rooting for you, and go home or go to Florida or wherever it is and bring home that crown. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything? That's it. Thank you for watching the Town Council meeting for the Town of Lexington. This meeting was held at Town Hall on Monday evening, August 5th, 2024, and a recording of this meeting will be available for viewing on the town's YouTube channel. Without objection, we are adjourned.